And with the help of satellite imagery, we've been tracking very closely here on India Today exactly what the Russian troop movement is, the Russian invasion strategy. Russia on Sunday resupplied its forces marching towards the Ukrainian capital Kyiv with additional troops and fighting equipment. Pictures provided by the US-based space tech company Maxar Technologies show a deployment of Russian ground forces as long as 5 kilometers long, all of them marching towards Kyiv. We've got picture by picture, we're breaking that down for you. First picture is that of resupplies containing hundreds of military vehicles seen moving from northeast of the Ukrainian city of Ivankhiv towards Kyiv. Another picture that we have is of recent social media posts indicating movement of Chechen fighters along roads and tree lines in the area. Chechen units suffered huge losses reportedly at the hands of Ukrainian forces. Here's another picture, a satellite picture that we're putting out. Ukrainian and Russian officials agreeing for talks near the Belarusian border with Ukraine. That did not have any impact, however, on the continuing advances made by the Russian forces in this region. Another image we have is, according to Western intelligence, Russian strategy is to seize and capture Kyiv. And that hasn't moved according to their plans due to the resistance and the strong one that's been shown by the Ukrainians. Let's take this across to Ankit Kumar. He's joining us with more details on this. Ankit, you've been closely tracking every update that comes in with regards to Russian troop movement with the help of these satellite images. Just break down for us the big takeaways from the latest images that you've accessed.
Well, Akshita, what we have been hearing through the briefings of Western alliances mostly from US and UK is that Russia has so far failed to attain its objective that it has set up for its ground forces. Now, yesterday, these satellite images were collected around the areas of Kyiv. And now what we are hearing is that Russia is now resupplying its troops with necessary equipment, along with artillery, along with armored vehicles, logistics. We have seen a lot of social media footage that indicates that the tanks running on grounds are running out of fuels. These pictures now suggest that Russia is now trying to resupply the forward troops with necessary fuel, with logistics, and with additional troops. We might see impact of these troops reaching capital city, or at least closer to the capital city in next few hours or maybe few days, depending on what kind of resistance they face. But what these images suggest is that at least more than in fact 3 mile long military convoy moving from northeast of Kyiv to marching towards the capital city, which means that stakes are only going to get higher. The violence is not going to come down, and we are in for more brutal combat as far as the capital city of Kyiv is concerned.
Day 5 of the invasion, Russian troops were trying to ensure that they have maximum deployment on the ground to capture Kyiv. It's not been easy so far for Russia, with the Ukrainian troops and civilians putting up a massive fight. With Ankit telling us that, deployment is being ramped up, what really does that mean on the ground? On day 5, will we see more violence, more bloodshed? I just want to break down some of these images, these satellite images that we're having for you here of, in fact, a possible missile attack and the point where this particular attack happened. This is the Antonov airport in Hostomel. And you can see this thick plume of smoke going up from 27th February. There were strikes that were reported in this particular area. You see here, we've tried to zoom in, as you can make out, on the kind of damage that's been reported. Remember that this is the hangar of, in fact, the world's largest cargo aircraft, which has reportedly been destroyed in this strike at the Antonov airport. And these images essentially seem to confirm that, yes, Russian troops did target this particular airport. This is the hangar, the AN-225, how it looked before the strikes. And this is what it looks like now, with thick plumes of smoke emerging. The Ukraine government has confirmed, unfortunately, that Mriya, as it's called, it was the pride for Ukraine. It's been destroyed now in that strike. And let's get you those details. Even as we're putting out the satellite images, there is a lot of alarm, there's a lot of sadness among the aviation world because of the aircraft, the Antonov AN-225, that in fact occupied the cult status, has been destroyed by Russian troops. The enormous aircraft, which was named as Mriya, or a dream in Ukrainian, was parked at an airbase near Kyiv when it was attacked by Russian occupants. Ukrainian foreign minister has confirmed this. Kuleba has taken to Twitter and said that Russia may have destroyed the Mriya, but they will never be able to destroy a strong, free and democratic European state. India today has accessed satellite images that you see there from the Hostomel Air Base, where the AN-225 was kept in the hangar. These are visual proof, and these are images that confirm from Maxar Technologies that there has been significant damage to part of that hangar. Evidence suggests that the hangar remained unharmed during the first clash on February 26th. During the second clash, an aerial missile hit the hangar that seemed to pass right through its roof. Russia has been raining cruise missiles down on multiple Ukrainian cities ever since it launched a full-scale invasion of the country on Thursday. Let's take this back across to Ankit Kumar for more. Ankit, the Ukraine government did confirm that unfortunately Mriya has been destroyed in its hangar because of the Russian attack. What have you been able to pick up from the satellite images? Because what we just played out on our screens also showed clearly that there was some sort of a missile attack. There are plumes of smoke also that goes up from that hangar.
Well, Akshita, it's a very complex yet significant story. Significant because it has got to do with the world's largest cargo jet. Now, what happened at this airport is, and what we are showing on our screens are three sets of images. First image is from Google Earth. Anybody can see it. It was taken before the Russian invasion happened. So it shows the position of the hangar where the AN-225 was placed on that airport. The second image that we are showing is, it's an image sourced from European Space Agency, which has now been overlaid with radar data that shows the points of active fire. Now, what we know from ground reports is that battle take place for hours between 24th and 26th of February last week to take control of this airport between Russian and Ukrainian soldiers. In the first round, Russian soldiers, ground report suggests that they managed to take control of this airport, and it was an airborne attack. What we have in the second image is that if you pick up those little details, those little bright lights, those lights show the active heat signatures on ground. Those active heat signatures are not anywhere around close to the hangar. That means that during the first 2 days of the battle, this cargo jet managed to somehow survive this clash. Now, what happened in the third image is, a high-resolution satellite image provided by our friends at Maxar Technologies. What it shows is, it shows a large hole on the roof of the hangar. This happened yesterday. Yesterday, there was another round of battle, and the visual details now clearly shows is that it was likely hit by a missile because the nature of the impact is such. Now, based on these evidence, what we can say is that for the first 2-3 days of battle, the largest giant cargo aircraft AN-225 managed to somehow survive. What happened in the final hours of battle? One projectile, likely missile, hit the roof. Now, this also goes against the pattern that we have seen so far. Russian forces have attacked several other airports. We have not seen hangars specifically being targeted. We have seen runways being targeted. We have seen fuel depots being targeted. But largely, cargo hangars are not being targeted. In this case, a specific missile managed to penetrate the hangar's roof, and sadly, it destroyed world's largest cargo jet. So this is the first sort of visual investigation describing what actually happened in the final hours of the battle at the Antonov airport.
Okay, we will keep tracking the latest on that front of the reactions that are coming in on social media. There is, for obvious reasons, a lot of shock. The world's largest cargo aircraft there destroyed in the Russian invasion.